Trigger warning. In this episode, we discuss urination, needles, vomiting, poop, health issues, postpartum depression, prolapsed body parts, and suicide.
Hello, welcome to Sorry for Trauma Dumping. I'm one of your hosts, Erica.
And I'm Alex.
Hello, and if you are with us via screen, you can see that we have a guest. And this is Kat.
Hi.
She is my wife. No.
Partner.
My partner. So, Kat and I been friends for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We met each other like a day after my birthday in 2020.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I remember because we switched, or we gave each other Snapchats when I started working from home, which was in March of 2020.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming on 4 years, but yeah. Met through our other partner.
Tie.
So if for the people who don't know, we call ourselves the Quapple. It's me, Cole,
Me.
Kat,
And my husband, Tyler.
And we just call each other Quapple. I think Tyler came up with it.
Probably.
Yeah, it seems like a Tyler thing.
Yeah, he's the name boy.
Yeah. So he came up with it and it just stuck. So we call ourselves the Quapple. I met Kat actually through Tyler because I went to middle school with him before I moved. But yeah, we had a anime sesh. He invited Cole and I over to watch anime movies, and so we went. And he didn't realize it was me, the one from
Middle school.
And then our other friend was like, we went to school with her, so you know her. And he was like, oh yeah. And yeah, the rest is history.
It's funny because you guys re-met up like probably a week or two before Tyler and I started hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah. And then I remember this was actually in my speech at your wedding because I was her maid of honor, and I said you very first came over to my apartment and you thought I was mean.
Yeah.
And Becky was at my house with me, and we were going over to our cousin's house to drink. And so whenever Becky and I would get together, we would, I don't know, feed up each other and be wild and stuff. And so I probably did seem like a bitch at the time. But then she kept coming around, so
I still had to hang out.
Yeah. But I don't think you know this, but you were downstairs when the guys were hanging out, and you were coloring your little cat.
Oh, I had a little pushing coloring book I would bring because I didn't want to interact with Tyler's friends.
And I remember because I had a big dresser in here. It was like a big one, and it had like a mirror that hooks to the dresser, like a big dresser. And I remember moving it from that room to this room. And I'm like, I'm getting no fucking help in here. And I'm like, I should go see if Kat wants to help me. And I'm like, no, too fucking awkward. So I moved the entire dresser all by myself, and it was so hard.
It probably would have been way easy because I'm the stronger.
Yeah, and knowing now, you would have enjoyed that. So, anyways, we're going to talk about us being child-free.
Yep. So this is the second episode of our mini series. So last episode we talked about pregnancy, and this episode we're going to talk about being child-free. So which one of you ladies want to kind of tell your story and background of why you were child-free first?
I think we should also say what the difference between child-free and childless is.
Yes, that would be extremely helpful because I was calling it the wrong thing until Erica told me that you said it was the wrong thing, and I was like, whoop.
Amy.
Someone else we know that doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She corrected me, and I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was talking to my friend about this episode, and she kept laughing at me because I was saying childless. And she's like, wait a minute, I thought you're child free. And I'm like, I am. And so, like, but anyway, so she made it very known to me that people in her child free groups on Facebook hate when they get called childless, because childless is for people who are trying to conceive and wanting a child, per se. Child free is where you don't want a child and you're just straight chilling. So, and then childless is also people who can't have
produce any kids.
Yeah. So that's the difference between the two. And we are child free.
Child free. Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
So I will go first. Now I will say, when I married Cole, we did want kids. It wasn't decided until a couple of years ago where we didn't want any. But yeah, because like we made like a game plan. We're like, when we hit 24, 25, 26, we're going to be in a good place. As I'm currently 27. And I'm like, that's when we can start trying. He goes, okay. And then we did try for a couple, well,
almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year we tried. Like, we tried to the point where it was just doing the act and peeing on a stick. It wasn't like...
There was no enjoyment out of it.
No, there was no romance. There was no enjoyment. It was like, get it done. Nothing was happening. I'm like, what is wrong? They can't even have a child? So then I did this testing. Nothing came from it. So I was like, okay. And then I'm like, you know what? If it happens, it happens. Let's just not worry about it. We'll just always like expect it, whatever. But then I guess I wouldn't say come to our senses, but like
realization.
Realization that we are not in a spot to want kids right now, because then we started thinking about the pros and the cons, and our con list just kept getting longer and longer. So then we just decided not to have any kids. And if we do end up wanting kids or wanting a child, it's going to be through adoption because of my spina bifida occulta. I'm afraid that if something happens bad with the pregnancy, then something's going to happen with that where I can either get paralyzed, or because if I get in a really bad car accident, I can get paralyzed because of my spine issues. So
that's scary.
It was and pregnancy just scares the shit out of me.
It should.
Yeah, like the needle for like the epidural and shit. I almost puked when my sister got, like, because I was in the room with my sister when she was giving birth, and I literally almost puked because I saw them sticking in, and I was like, I just felt nauseous.
Do you know the needle stays in?
No, the fuck it doesn't.
It sure does.
No, the fuck it doesn't.
Yep.
Well, unless you get, there's something different. There are two different things. There's the epidural and there's another thing. The other thing is just kind of like a general block, and that's just like an in and out. But the epidural itself, yes, it goes in and stays in.
Ooh,
right in your little back.
And like, just having something inside of me kicking me and making me feel uncomfortable and
sick
and making me already carry more weight. Listen. My boobs already weigh like 18 fucking pounds. I don't need to carry anything else that weighs less than that.
Anything more.
But so I guess what turned me off from having kids is, one, the money. That's a lot of money. Two, the freedom. That
you don't come first anymore.
Yeah.
The kids come first.
Yeah. And having someone look up to me just scares me. Like,
you have nieces and nephews.
No. I mean, provide for them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I can
sole provider for
a
living being that isn't a dog.
Yes, that's not a dog. because like what if I lose my job and like I can't provide? That would scare the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's not just about me anymore. It's about these kids, and like obviously I want the best for the child or the children. But yeah, I mean, it's not that I would be a bad parent or that we would be bad parents. We have more common sense of the people that actually do have fucking kids, but it's just caring for them, like when they get sick. Like I already get scared when Cole gets sick. I'm like,
I can attest to that.
So, so when like little kids are looking up to you, coughing, like when I do, and also they care so much. Like they're always sick. Why?
They don't have an immune system yet.
I know, but like
it just depends on the kids. I mean, I can't say during the school year my kids are sick, but because kids are gross. But during the summer they're very rarely sick, and like when there's time off of school. So like I want to say my kids are sick maybe 25% of the year, but that's because we are generally healthy. But there are some people whose kids are just like sick all the time. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So there was freedom, there was money. The world is shit right now, so I wouldn't want to bring a child into this world who can't be themselves, who can't survive because the minimum wage is the same from fucking 1882.
Back before women could vote.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons.
For you.
Yeah, for me, because
or I don't want to necessarily bring Cole into it because in the sense this is your story, but does Cole feel the same way for those reasons as well? Because obviously it was a partnership and you guys deciding you didn't want to have children. So like I didn't know if he felt the same way, like those were the same like cons that were on his list as well as yours.
I don't think Cole could put up with a kid full time in his own house. He couldn't do it.
And also thinking about coming home from work. Like you worked all day, depending on what your profession is. You're stressed, you're doing this, you're dealing with other things, and you come home, you can't relax, and you still have to get up and you have to clean and you have to do stuff, and
every 5 seconds, I want a snack, I need a drink, I want a snack, I need a drink.
Yeah, and so that's a little bit of an annoyance.
Alice is like, yep, that's exactly it.
I just thought of something too. Oh, the poops. I ain't cleaning.
You know what's worse? Big kid vomit.
Oh no, I can't even clean up my own. I can't clean up my dog's vomit. What makes you think I'm gonna clean up a human's vomit? And
literally, baby poop, like little baby poop, and like baby vomit is nothing compared to like toddlers and like actual like children when they're eating real people food. Yeah. I would change little baby diapers all day long because it's not bad. It is not bad compared to when they're actually eating solids and you're like, oh my God, can you stop?
Yeah. So I can change a solid poop. I'm talking about the liquid, like the
early baby poop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. See that I can do that. That's not a problem.
I think it's a texture thing. And I feel like if like wiping a baby, obviously you know how to wipe a baby butt, and then like you go down like with the wipe. I don't know. I don't know why I'm explaining to people who do fucking who do it and who did it. Yeah. And so like touching the goopiness outside the diaper, of course, is
yeah. That's very funny. Valid. I get it. It takes a while to get used to that, and then I completely valid.
Yeah. So that's pretty a good chunk. As to why I'm child free. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's nice. That's true. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Erica.
You're welcome. So that's all she wrote for me.
So I have actually been in childcare since I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I have always been working with kids since I could work. I'm the middle child, and my brother's only 2 years younger than me, so I wasn't around a lot of kids either. I just liked being around kids. I worked with preschoolers, and then for the rest of it, I've been working with infants, like actual babies, like can't sit up babies.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why when you said baby, I thought of the jiggle face.
Oh yeah. So my favorite thing to do with them is take their little chin and you do it, and they just go blub, 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 blub.
And then when you put it in slow motion,
It's so cute.
It's even funnier.
Yeah. So I have always known I didn't want kids. Like there was never a time where I was like, I want kids. No, I've always been like, they're not for me. I don't want them. Ever since I could like think about having like knowing where a baby came from, pretty much.
Right.
And my reason is not for any of Erica's reasons either.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess kind of, but I do not want to push anything out of me.
Well, yeah.
If it could just get from inside me to outside of me, I could think about it. I could think about the idea of a baby.
And not a C-section.
No, I don't want to recover for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That is not for me. I've never had surgery.
It destroys your body.
Oh, yeah. So working with babies my entire life almost, I've heard so many stories from all the moms that I work with and all the moms that I watch their kid. They tell me all about how horrible it is. Like some of them can't eat gluten after they have a baby. They can't walk right after a baby. And all the problems that come with a baby. What if your baby came out like deformed? Your whole life you're like, that's my fault that this kid's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, and I've said it many times to my coworkers, that if I had a baby, I would have such rough postpartum depression that I'm like, I don't even need to think about it.
And postpartum depression is no joke.
No
joke.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. But yeah, no, I feel you with all of that. I have another friend who just the thought of being pregnant, of something growing inside her, freaks her out. She's like, I never want to have kids. No. She's put up all the extra precautions where she has, because obviously people don't want to let women choose what to do with their body, so she can't be fixed or get anything removed because there's no medical need for that.
No. And you don't have a kid already, so they're not going to let you do it.
So she is still on birth control. The man she's currently with, he has a vasectomy, but they still use other forms of birth control as well because she is so scared of becoming pregnant. She's like, I do not want anything inside me. That scares her.
I think also, not only am I child-free, I'm also childless because I have PCOS. So there's a good chance I can't even have a baby. So, like, I've known that since I was, like, 13 or so. So I know I'm probably not going to be able to have a baby either way. So I also just don't care to think about having a kid. It doesn't make me sad because I know I could adopt a baby, but...
Right. If you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's stupid, but I'll say it. I think all the women in the world need to come together and be like, we're not producing any more kids until we get full right of our body.
What a thought!
Because the only way this population is growing is because of women.
Yeah.
And they're getting less rights.
Yep.
Anyways, okay, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah!
Yeah! Snaps, queen! Oh boy. So with you and your husband, was that something that you guys had to have a discussion about too, or did you just flat out going into it and be like, I don't want kids, end of discussion? Or is that something you guys talked about?
So probably in one of our first few dates, we didn't really talk about it because we met each other on Tinder. We didn't really talk about it through the app or anything because that's obviously not something like young 20 people are thinking about. Mm-hmm. Well, some people are, but I knew that he wanted kids when we were first together, and I had always been like, I don't want kids, but he still wanted to date, and I was like, that's totally fine. I know where I'm standing on this. And eventually he started hanging out with his nephew more, hanging out with Erica's niece and nephew more, and he found out, wow, I couldn't put up with a 4-year-old. An 8-year-old. He couldn't put up with it, and now he's decided that he does not want kids.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least that was something you didn't have to be like, oh, well, we're going to talk about it. It was kind of like, okay, we're done. Like,
we did talk about, like, because I had always, had the stance, but he wanted kids, and he had talked about it, and he's like, well, I'd rather have you than have a kid. And I was
Okay.
like, oh,
Tyler.
yeah, right? I was like, okay.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome that you guys have really supportive partners and that are totally like with you and be like, hey, it's your body. It's what you guys have totally chose. And, you know, in the sense that you guys all agree that no kids.
Yeah.
No kids for you guys.
Yeah. And we be taking vacations.
All right. Well, I have a list of questions here for you guys, and I kind of just want to see like your general reaction. So if someone were to like have a conversation with you and to have said anything like this, how it would either like really piss you off or like your feelings on it or like just your general reaction to it. I will have to say at one point in my life, I was really uneducated. And I had said a few of these to people, and now I feel like a complete asshole because I was like, because I didn't know. I mean, I was young. I had children young. So, like, for me, I didn't understand. Like, I did not understand the concept of being child free. Now I totally get it. And I'm like, you do what you want to do. But, like, at that point in my life, I was like, wow, I was a dick. I have said these to people. So, okay.
At least you're self-aware.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm all for growing and learning. So if someone can explain to me like, hey, like this is why you shouldn't do that for X, Y, and Z. All right, putting it in here. This is why we shouldn't do it because of this. And I'm a very compassionate person, but I guess I'm not going to lie. When I reread these, I was like, oh shit, I've said that. Okay. What a bad decision.
Oh, sucks.
That's my decision, and that's why it's my decision, not yours. No, I've never heard that one, though.
I haven't heard that one either.
You're a crazy cat lady in training.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I only have 2, but I am hoping for more.
I can't relate to that. So.
You're like dogs.
You think you're tired? You have no idea what tired is.
Yes.
Because we don't have kids. Like
I've heard that many a time. It's the same thing as like if you didn't go to the dentist. Oh, why does your mouth hurt? I go to the dentist. Why don't you? Like, it's your choice what you do with your own body.
Right.
Yeah. Like, if you want to have kids, you kudos. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I really don't like it because one of the coworkers I had, she would talk like that. And it's like, I am a functioning adult when I get my 8 hours and I don't get woken up. You can be whatever you want to be.
You can be sleep deprived
with your time. And that's totally okay for you, but it's not okay for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're so tired, then why do you enjoy being a parent?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good response. You're being selfish.
Literally.
You don't want these jeans in your pool, bud.
Ugh. Yeah, but I'm also selfish with chicken nuggets.
Yeah, just the people that say that, like, are you gonna adopt 5 more kids then?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you
it's selfish of you to birth a child when there's already 4 million kids that need to be adopted.
Oh, that's a good response.
Okay, got it. That's the next one.
What are you waiting for?
$1 million to fall in my lap.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the economy to be better. I'm waiting for people not to be fucking shitty. I'm waiting to make more money or have more money. I'm waiting for the healthcare system to be fucking better.
Yeah, if everything could be better, maybe you could think about it. But there's so much weight on your shoulders already from all the environmental things around you. You don't need to add kids to it if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm. And like, I just thought of this, but also it might play into the fact that I watch these as growing up. But I used to watch like crime shows all the time, and like parents would get their kids taken from them. I couldn't even imagine the hurt that they're feeling.
The kids or the parents?
The parents. Well, kids too. Yeah. But the feeling of a parent getting their kid kidnapped from them and you not knowing where your kid is, that would terrify the fuck out of me. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know how to even live because I'm like, there's my child out there. I don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to protect them. And so don't have kids, don't have that fear.
My mom had that fear really bad, and that's one of the anxieties I can really remember from her is if we got more than like a foot away from her, she'd be anxious. So like growing up, I always knew I would hold my mom's like sleeve or something, the back of her sleeve, whenever we were anywhere in this world. And I did it to Tyler one time, and he's like, "Why are you touching me?" I'm like, "So I don't get lost."
I do it to Cole.
Like,
but he just lets it happen.
yeah, well, you ever see girls in the club? You touch each other's shoulders as you walk through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing.
I'm hugging.
Yeah.
I ain't getting lost.
No. Oh, I couldn't imagine losing a child because they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That would just terrify me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean, I
you're-
feel for all those parents out there, but sorry, continue.
It's okay. I thought there was I'm breaking it. My bad. Well, your mom had you.
She shouldn't have.
I'm fucking struggling.
She barely had me. I was a
Actually-
rainbow baby.
Actually,
I was close.
I was a mistake. So
Same.
Well, there we go. Well, my mom had me when she was still an evangelical Christian. So that's one thing. My mom is now an atheist, and she fully understands. Yep.
we love that for her.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like, but your mom had you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
I guess
work.
like for me,
You know-
if I were to throw my 2 cents into it, be like, yeah, and do you know how much childhood trauma I got because of that?
A lot.
And also, I could be in a sock right now. Who the fuck cares?
A sock!
I don't like.
Yeah, Ron.
Okay.
What a shame. You might regret it.
Then I will adopt. I will adopt when I'm 60.
Yeah.
Like, kids are still going to be in the foster care
Yeah.
system.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll adopt a 19-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well,
they're not adopted.
I meant to say 18, but 19.
18.
I meant to say 17.
Oh, there we go. For real. What was the question?
You're going to regret?
Oh, I'm gonna regret it.
Regret it? I think that's the question.
I think you're gonna regret asking me this question, old lady. You wanna?
Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah.
The size of that house, and it's just the two of you. What a waste of space.
As I'm currently in an extra bedroom, it's my office and my craft room. And Cole has an office too. So
I thought of you exactly when I read that one. I was like, I gotta add that one to the list.
we got a lot of stuff.
It's
so
nice. You guys have so much space. It's nice.
yeah.
Because you can all live your own lives in separate areas.
Yeah.
Like Cole's doing his podcast downstairs right now, and you can't even hear him. Okay, I understand the
Yes,
van.
you can. Sometimes they yell.
That's true.
Well, okay, so I can kind of speak on the bed. Oh, do you want to say your bedroom thing real fast?
Oh, I also
Oh,
have an
so
extra
space.
bedroom. We use it for an office and the podcasting room for Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I had 4 additional people living in my house with me about 2 years ago. It was probably a year span. It was an abrupt thing. It wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't planned at all. But Cole and I were nice enough to let the 4 people stay here. 2 were adults and 2 were children. The children drove me insane. Because when they first moved in, I wasn't on TikTok that much. And so once I got TikTok, I somehow ended up on like parent TikTok, and like they were talking in like nice ways and like different things and like how to talk to kids. And like before that, I will admit I kind of yelled at the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And
You learned about gentle parenting
Yes, gentle
versus
parenting.
aggressive parenting or assertive parenting.
yeah, because like that's what my parents did to me. They
Yes.
yelled at me, and so I was like, ah, and I was like, turn on the TV, and it was
Pick up your room!
Yeah, it was and Cole did the same thing.
Yeah.
But after they left, we're like, yeah, that was probably wasn't the best situation. And I felt so horrible the way that I treated the kids. I did apologize to their mother, but that's whatever.
You
But-
weren't like mean.
No, I wasn't as mean as
You could be.
Could be, yes. Yeah. But just like the little stuff, like
you felt bad because it was you were mirroring like your trauma onto them.
Yeah.
And now you know that doing that kind of stuff isn't helpful.
Yeah. So just having the kids in here, that also tells me that I'm probably not ready for kids.
Fair.
Even though I learned how to gentle parent, but
I have a question. Is this on your list? They're not your kids. Your kids are going to be different. You're going to treat your kids different.
I did not add that. I saw it and I literally spaced.
That is the biggest one I hear all the time. If I'm like, yeah, well, I couldn't handle these kids in my house all the time. They'll be like, oh, well, when you have your own, it's different. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to be different.
No, they're still going to be little fucking brats.
I will say, as a parent,
mm-hmm.
I like my kids. I don't really like other people's kids.
That's fair.
I tolerate other people's kids. Like, and I guess I can't say all kids. Like, they're like my special friends. So like Brooke, I love her kids. I love them so much, but there's different parenting things that we do. So it's harder. And also, I guess Brooke's son is autistic. So that's also hard for me because my children aren't autistic. So that's hard for me to deal with. I even tried babysitting for a while, and I was like, yeah, nope, I don't like other people's kids. I like my kids because I can tell them what to do. I'd be like, because I'm your mom. And that because I've known them literally, like they came out of me. So like I know them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, no, I don't think I could do what you do, Kat, because I don't like kids. I like my own kids.
I like my toddlers. I like them very much, and they're very cute. And some of them I babysit, and like I would take the toddler home, like until they reach like 2.5. I would take your kid until they're 2.5, and then I would give them back.
And I will take them when they're 6.
Yeah, like I can't. They hit the terrible 2s, and I'm out. I can't handle it.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
You think you don't want children, but once you have them, you'll change your mind.
No!
That's when you look them dead in the eye and you go, I can't give birth. How does that make you feel? And then they go, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or, no, that's lying. So that would be kind of mean. Can you reread it? So
yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah. You think you don't want children, but once you have them, you'll change your mind.
I thought I had like a little witty comeback, but nope.
Nope.
It's not there. Okay.
And that's one that I mistakenly have used in the past.
Mm-hmm.
My new early 20s, I didn't understand the concept of being child-free. So when someone had told me, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you'll change your mind. And like now the fact that I'm like listening to it again, I was like, oh my God, I said that to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was really shitty. Don't wait too long.
I'm gonna.
Hey, you can have a baby up into your 50s.
That is true. My grandma had her son super late in the game. Like my aunt and uncles were all grown, had their own kids, and I think I was like 4 or 5. So I guess that would make my mom about 22, 23. And she had my other uncle, Travis.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really weird. Like growing up and being like, well, this is my uncle. I'm older than my uncle.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Well, and she thought she was going through the change. She didn't realize that she was pregnant.
God, that would be horrible.
Not the change.
Yeah.
I'd rather sweat for 4 years straight than that. Oh. At least you have a really good reason to be mad at everybody all the time. Sweating. Constantly. Oh.
But you'd be such a good mom.
Yeah.
I
can still be a good mom.
I get told that one a lot because I am with kids all day and they see me interacting with the babies and I'm very, very in-depth with babies. Like I'm up in their face, we're playing games. Like I'm a very good person with kids. But like I try to make people feel awkward. If they start being mean, I'm like, oh, I can't have kids. Oh, just like really playing up that side of it, because I'm like, make you feel bad. You
Right.
should not be asking somebody this.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You'd better hurry up and give your husband a child before he finds someone who will.
I would just
Okay.
get a voice clip of Tyler going, "Kids are disgusting. I don't want any." That is so misogynistic.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why wear the fucking pants in this house? And I say no.
Yeah. Tyler and I were selling something the other day on Facebook Marketplace, and the lady handed me the money, and then Tyler's like, "Oh, did you get the money from them?" And the lady goes, "Yeah, I gave it to your wife." And he goes, "Oh, good. She's the one that does the money." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the one that do all the things in the house. I keep track of everything."
My comeback for that little statement is, I'm sorry your husband made you feel that way. Like you had to birth a child.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mean, but I'm sorry your husband made you have a child.
Yes.
Fair.
Speaking of that, I actually saw a TikTok today that absolutely grossed me out. It was one of those TikToks where, like, you can tell, like, they have a tiny baby. She had to have just given birth, like, not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
She still had, like, the pre-baby bump going on.
Ooh,
And it was one of those where you had the piece of paper and they pick one or the other.
Oh, okay.
And the one option was, like, change the baby. The other one's try for baby number 2.
Oh, my God. She's probably not even supposed to have doing it time yet.
No.
And depending on what's going on, what went on during her birth,
Yeah.
she could be like, I don't know, fucking
Sticking out. You can
Tear.
prolapse your uterus.
Yes.
You could tear, too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most women do tear. Babies are fat these days.
Prolapse your uterus.
You know what prolapse means?
No.
Prolapse is when something comes out of your body that shouldn't be out of your body.
Can that happen
Yeah.
anytime?
No.
You can
You have to have
prolapse your
something
asshole.
You can do it through your butthole, too. Yeah. Your butthole can come out.
Your butthole can come out.
Mhm.
You better stay up there.
Yeah.
Not be coming out anytime soon.
Mhm.
But literally, I was like, that is so disgusting. And the fact that it was her husband doing it, I was like, that's gross. Like,
Yeah.
men to be like, we just had a baby. Let's make another one. No, give me
Those-
time. I gotta heal.
Those videos make me think that they're staged.
Mm,
I never know when those videos are staged or not.
Hmm.
we can hope it's always staged.
Yeah, because that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't, what other people or another man seeing that was like, oh, this is acceptable behavior.
That's the thing too. If we're getting into it, is the man also needs to stick up to other men.
Yes.
And like, if Cole was around you and someone said any of these things, I hope he would be the first one to talk.
You know what? Anyways.
I think Tyler would stick up for me if someone
Yeah.
came up to me and was like, he'd be like, back off.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
be like, back off too.
In there.
Oh my. That's you fighting?
You don't have kids, so you don't understand.
I've been told that one.
False. Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah. It normally goes along with the same string as like, I'm tired. Oh, you can't be tired.
Yeah.
Is that all of that just revolves around like if someone said, oh, I'm suicidal. Oh, you can't be suicidal. I'm suicidal. You can't.
I coined it.
Yeah, like you can't both be tired at the same time, even though your circumstances
No.
are different.
You can be around kids
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I don't like it. You can watch a scary movie and be like, oh, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I make a scary movie, then I guess I'll like it. I don't think so.
I hope you would, yeah. Equating babies to scary movies is spot on.
Yeah. I had no other thought in my mind
Yeah.
except scary movies.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
do with that what you will do with that. What you will do.
Yeah.
You don't know what real love is.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay,
I will punch you.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I can look at some of the babies at my work and be like, I would kill for you. That's the same thing, because I know my mom would kill for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that instinct reaction that you just had, though, it was just like, yeah.
Can you reread that?
okay, you don't know what real love is.
That's bullshit. I love my partner
Mm-hmm.
a whole fucking lot. And you can't tell me that's not real love?
You still get mad at your kids. Alex, you still get mad at your kids all the time?
Every day.
Exactly.
Every day.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
I love my dogs.
You know what's more important? You choose to love your partner. Every day it's a choice to love your person. You can't ever not love your kid.
Well,
I mean,
you can if they come out.
Or if they suck. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
may not like you, but I love you.
I feel that. I pretty much I tell Brandon a lot. I was like, I don't like you very much right now, but I still love you.
Mm-hmm.
You piss me off. I don't like you most days, but I love you. Especially right now with it being football season.
Oh, dude, you're talking to the choir right now.
Not me, just her.
Just me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, any sport, I mean, really, but right now it's football season and it's just like, and I'm like, I love you, but I don't like you very much right now. Go away. Aren't you worried there will be no one to look after you when you're old?
There's nursing homes. Okay. I just came to this realization. If I can't function on my own, kill me. I don't want to survive. I don't want to live if I cannot wipe myself, go to the bathroom by myself, shower by myself. If I'm calling you Jeff when you're my sister, no. Like, end me. I don't want to live.
Assisted death is not a thing in a lot of states.
A what?
Assisted death, like doctor death?
In one state.
Is it? It's probably like Oregon or California.
Yes, I think it's Oregon, but you have to be a resident within like 12 years. That is the only state that I know of that I've looked into it.
You can't be helped to the end.
Like, you can't go to your doctor and be like, I want to die.
Then I'm going to find a pig farmer and I'm be like, take my fucking body.
Oh.
No, I'm serious.
You should actually look into your will about that. You can put in your will, if I cannot remember my own name, if I can't remember my husband's name, if I can't, it can be like, you know how you can get a DNR? Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Maybe we should advocate more for assisted suicide for people who have like terminal illnesses. Because I don't think that's one thing that people talk about enough.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, growing old just makes me sad.
I don't think about it. I try my very best not to think about death or getting old because that freaks me out a lot.
I have 2 grandparents in the hospital right now. So
all my grandparents are dead. It's fine. And my dad. Don't forget him.
My dad's dead too.
Oh, you can join the
Dad Club.
My dad's dead to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway.
You don't have kids, so you're not a real family.
People fucking say that?
Yeah. What's the blood is thicker than water?
Oh, blood of the coven
is thicker than water of the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by that.
I stand by it.
Friends are better than relatives. Can you
100%.
What of your actual blood relatives do you like? Exactly. None of them.
I have a couple cousins
that are pretty okay.
That I talk to on a regular basis.
I truly think if I needed something, you and Cole or Tyler would do it way sooner than any of my relatives. Yes. Excluding my mom, if she could.
Oh, yeah. Like, when I broke my foot, I told you right away that I broke my foot and I couldn't walk on it. You immediately looked for
the scooter? A scooter so you could get around still.
Yeah. Like,
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandparents had 7 kids, and our family is pretty fucking huge, and so I don't even go to family events anymore.
My aunts fight with me on Facebook.
Oh yep.
Your aunts fight with you on Facebook?
My aunts, 2 of my aunts, my grandparents had 7 kids too, and 2 of my aunts will fight me on Facebook, and I truly believe the only reason the other one doesn't is because she does not on Facebook.
Oh. Yep.
Yep.
Old white women.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
We didn't invite you to the party because you don't have kids.
Good.
That's your loss. I'm a free babysitter at parties. I'm a wonderful party person with babies. Mm-hmm. You don't gotta watch your kids if I'm there, and they know it too.
Yep. Same if you have dogs.
You got dogs? Erica's
Yeah,
on it.
because I'm there.
Cats?
No. You know what? If you have kids and you don't invite someone without kids to a party, I'm chilling downstairs playing Mario Kart or watching a movie or
I'm living a better life
yes.
than having to be at a kid's birthday party or something.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I thought that was so weird. Like I read that and was like, people say that. I don't think there's ever been a chance where I don't like if we have like parties like for my kids, I don't think I'm not inviting people who are close to me. We just don't financially afford to have parties anymore. So that's why Erica, you have not been invited to my children's parties because they are non-existent.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I would go to your kids' birthday parties. Even if you don't invite me, I know where the fuck you live and I'm going through.
You should invite Erica just because she'll get you good presents for them.
Hey.
She gets a lot of presents for people's birthdays.
She gets really good presents.
On my back. No,
my niece, Tyler's niece, so my niece, she got more gifts for my niece than Tyler and I got.
To be fair, she's my
fair.
dog
yeah, your dog sitter.
Hey.
She is blood related to Tyler.
Hey, she's a good sport.
She is.
Okay, the last question I have is, don't you want more out of life?
That's why I'm not having kids.
Honestly, I have thought about that. Like, if I could have kids, or if I wanted to have kids, does it make a difference? I don't know if it does. I still haven't answered it.
Right.
Yep.
I feel like I can do more without having kids.
See, I agree, but I like kids. Not that I want kids, but I like them, and that's why I work at a daycare. So I get all that kind of stuff out of it. I get to see their milestones. I get to see them roll for the first time or walk or talk for the first time. And that's the same enjoyment, but I don't have to take them home at night. I spend 10 hours with them in the day and I go home and I sleep however long I want.
Mm-hmm. Well, until your alarm wakes you up.
Yeah. Or my cat steps on me.
And also being an aunt to 4 nibblings, that also helps because I can do stuff with them and do the milestones with them too. Yeah. So in a way, kind of have kids, not really, but they're there to
make sense.
Yeah. Like if you want to do something with a kid.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 friends at work that are very on the same vibe of understanding that they have kids and I don't want kids and they're so fine with that. And they, Alex is my friend at work, Alex. Her 2 kids used to call me Uncle Cat because I would help get them ready when they got to school in the morning. I'd help brush their teeth or brush their hair. And I've been to their house plenty of times. And Alex and my other coworker, Brandy, have been like, you can just take my kids. Oh, you want to go to Target with a kid? You can just take them. I go, okay. They won't care.
Have either of you had to defend your not wanting children to family members?
Yes. Tyler's dad is still thoroughly expressing he thinks we'll have kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Gary doesn't want his bloodline in.
Of course he does.
Gary wants a grandkid, and it's just Tyler that's his kid. So it's just us, but
yeah.
Mary is very recently doing okay with thinking we're not having kids.
Which is Tyler's mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary and Gary.
Well, that's improvement for her.
That's improvement. She was at the bottom of the barrel.
Well, so was she very angry about it, or did that make you feel sorts of way because they weren't okay with it?
They were. I would say Mary was sad because she also likes little kids, like grandbabies and stuff. But Tyler's sister, has already had 3 kids.
Okay.
So Mary's already been a grandma for years, 17 years. I personally don't care because at the time when she was expressing it, I didn't care about her feelings. I didn't care about anyone else's feelings because I was caring about my feelings and my partner's feelings and the people that I personally care about more. So Tyler could have taken on the burden of her feelings, but I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Since Cole and I got married in 2016, and typically how it goes is you get married and then you settle down and have kids.
Yeah.
Well, for 7 years now, I've been like any family event, like literally mark one, any family event, they would come up to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one uncle who would come up, well, a couple uncles would come up to me and be like, "You having kids yet? When you gonna have a kid? You pregnant?"
Mm-hmm. Tyler and I wanted to start keeping track. Right after we got married, we wanted to start like putting like $1 in a jar every time, and we got up to like 30.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean we didn't actually put money in, but we counted.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like saying, "Oh, when are you gonna have a kid?" is like, what if it's insensitive? And that's the one that I used to do when I was uneducated. Be like, "Oh, when are you gonna have another kid?" or whatever. When are you gonna have a kid? Are you thinking about having a kid? I used to do that, but now I don't.
I used to do that too, and I mean, obviously, I'm way more educated now, so no, I just feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, with you, like, I guess either of you, has there been any relationships that have been really hard because of you guys' decision? Like they just can't grasp it? Or is everyone that you know of that you've talked about like understanding?
So Cole's mother, so my mother-in-law, she knows that we don't want kids, and her other stepkids don't want any kids. So there's three. She has three couples. So three of her kids don't want any kids. So she's not going to have any grandkids at all. And there was this one time I went to the doctor's and she was with me, and I had some stomach issues. And the doctor came back. This is probably not the best way to say something, but the doctor comes back and goes, "Oh, there's something cooking in there." And her face, well, my face was shock. Like,
shock and terror.
What? Her face, she clapped and was like, "Oh, really?" And like, so you can tell that she wants.
Yeah, she wants kids.
And I know she would spoil the fuck out of the kids. She would be there whenever we needed help or whatever, which is fine. But I know she wants kids, and she knows that we're not ready to have kids. I did tell her, I don't know, we were just talking about it randomly. I did tell her, like, well, there could be a chance that we adopt. It's just that adoption's not off the list. Just me getting birth is off the list. So you could still potentially have a grandchild. It's just not now, maybe not ever, but it's just up in the air right now.
Right. What about your parents or like your mom? Has she expressed to you, or is she just like, "All right, it's cool"?
So, I think I was. You see, you can hear me.
Oh, I can hear that. There's someone.
Oh, you can?
I can hear that. I haven't heard them at all until right now. That was the first time I heard them.
I think I was like 16 or 7, maybe 16 or 18 or 19. My mom,
some teen. Erica was a teen.
yeah. I remember my mom specifically because, okay, with little kids, if they're not touching anything, and like I'm over here, I see a toy on the floor, I'm gonna pick up that toy, I'm gonna start messing with it.
Yeah.
When that little baby or that little toddler comes over me and tries taking it, no, I'm playing with it.
This is my turn.
Wait your turn. I don't care if I'm 19 or whatever teen I was. You gotta wait your turn. I don't care if you're a child. So, anyways, so I told my nibbling that I'm playing with a toy. You have other toys. I'm gonna play with it. You can wait your turn. And I wasn't that aggressive, but maybe it was. I don't remember. And my mom looked at me. She was like, "You're gonna be a horrible parent," and that stuck with me to this day.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
A year ago, I'm like, "Mom, I got a beef with you because this has been in my mind ever since it happened. Do you still think I'd be a horrible parent?" She goes, "No."
Good.
Who said that? And I'm like, "You did.
You did.
The drama." And she goes, "Oh no, I think you'll actually be
the best one of all.
Yep.
I
was gonna say sorry for listening.
I'll say it.
Be the best parent." But
Well, it's
yeah,
because you didn't start young.
Yeah.
Like, it's statistically, if you start young, it's hard to be a parent young because you're still growing.
You're still growing yourself.
Yeah.
Which is actually funny because you remember how I used to say I sucked a lot of dick. So with with me being a little hoe, my sisters was like, "Oh, you're gonna be the first one that's pregnant out of all of us." Stacey got pregnant first at 18 years old. Becky got pregnant second at 18 years old. Who doesn't still have a kid? This bitch. So, sucks.
Sucks.
I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. Oh, my mom. Sometimes she gets baby fever and she goes, "I need a baby. I just need a baby." I'm like, "Well, shut up."
Have you told her you're not planning on having children?
Oh yeah, I'm very vocal about it. She knows. Yep.
What about your mom, Kat?
Oh, my mom is so excited that I don't want kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she had kids young. And, like, she was in the church, right? So it was expected her to get married, have kids, be the homesteader, the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then, so she had my sister when she was 19. And then, for sure, my sister, then a miscarriage, then me, then my brother. So, like, that's already a lot of trauma right there. Right. Yeah, and I have a different dad than my sister, so that's 2 husbands, and they were both in the Navy. So my mom was having kids, moving around a lot, married, divorced, married, you know, like,
it's a lot.
She's excited that I'm not following in her footsteps, that I'm not having kids early or maybe at all, and she doesn't want any babies running around.
That's
she don't like babies. Yeah, so my mom does not care.
It's nice to have supportive parents. What's that like?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. My mom will be your mom too. She's done it for all my friends.
Yeah, her mom is everyone's mom.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I try to be the cool mom out of my kids group. Like, Bella's at that age now where her friends are like, have their own opinions and like things. And I'm like, come over to my house. You don't have to hide who you are.
I would love to listen to your opinion.
Yes. And I'm the one too that like, hey, like, I don't care what you do. Just be safe. Do you have questions? I will give you the answers. Like, Bella, we've had the sex talk, I don't know how many times, and in the different ways of the sense of like how to stay safe, how to know when it's right for you to have sex, how to know what consent is, you know, if my daughter is pansexual. So I was like, this is what you need to make sure you're doing if you have sex with a woman. This is what you need to know if you're having sex with a man, but know when it's the right time for you. And it's the same thing for them. I was like, if you have questions, ask me, because I'd rather you find out from someone who has knowledge than from someone who has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. So my mom was very much like, as long as she let me do anything. As long as I didn't come home pregnant, she didn't care what I did. She literally, as long as I told her where I was and I wasn't pregnant, she did not care.
What age range was that?
Like 12.
Okay.
Forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Once I had a way to communicate with my mom, once I got a little flip phone, cell phone, she did not care.
Not a flippy.
Yeah, a little flippy. Like, I would just be out doing the stupidest things. And I was from a small town, so what was our stupid things? Run around Walmart, look at cornfields, play at the park.
Trains!
Yeah. Trains. Looking at trains. Yeah. My mom did not care. And I am fully also that like, if I had any nieces or nephews or anything, I worked at a camp one time, and I had like a 13-year-old asked me what LGBT meant, and I was like, oh, you sit it on down. I'll tell you everything you need to know that's appropriate for your age range.
Right. Yes. Well, and that's one reason, as a parent, it terrifies me. Like, you had said that your mom was kind of a bit of a helicopter mom in the sense of like, you can't leave me kind of thing. Like, we go places, you have to hang on to me. I am similar, I guess, to a sense. With Bella, not so much. There's other things now that I worry about because she knows stranger danger and stuff like that. But I guess I worry more about, because she has Facebook now, making sure she's only speaking to people she actually knows, and you know, making sure people aren't taking advantage of her. If she goes, that's why it's knowing consent was really big for me, for her to know like when things should happen or shouldn't happen, and what no, when no means no, and stuff like that, and what you can do to protect yourself. With Lena, she's still very much a child, and she doesn't get out a lot. I know that sounds really bad, but COVID kept her in. So, like, there's a lot of things she's missed out on because of those potentially 3 years, because she couldn't get the vaccine. And I was very not trusting of people because not wanting to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of social cues she doesn't understand of, like, being in public, because she has never
been in public.
Right. She was so little when the pandemic happened that she, like, missed this huge chunk of development. So we went out to dinner at Carlos O'Kelly's the other day, and I had to, like, teach her not to point at people. And I guess that's thinking, like, you're 6, you should know kind of a little bit by now. But I had to remember this was a huge chunk of her life that we weren't in public. She didn't go to the store. She didn't, like, go anywhere. She stayed home. She didn't have anyone else to socialize with. So for her, I guess I worry more about other things, more stranger danger, because she has no idea. You know, she doesn't know who strangers are.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, some of the points that you guys made earlier really resonated with me. It was like, yep, I have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that.
I know if I had a kid, like, I would have an air tag in their shoe, in their backpack. I would know where this kid is all the time. They'd have Life 360 on their phone. Like, I would have to know where they were.
Yeah.
It would freak me out.
It freaks me out myself. Bella only has a flip phone, but we're hoping to upgrade her to a smartphone. And once that happens, Life 360. I don't care what she does, as long as she's smart and, you know, I know where she's at. So, and our big thing is, like, don't lie to me. If you're going somewhere, just tell me the truth. Don't lie about where you're at.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing with, like, boyfriends or girlfriends. I was like, if you want to date, that's fine. Like, when she turned 13, I was like, this is up to you. If you want to date, that's fine. I understand what happens at this grade. I was that old too. But just be honest. I don't care if you date. Just be honest.
Good. I mean, I think that's really good parenting.
That's one of the rules when my...
and that's coming from somebody who's met a lot of parents in their time.
I bet.
That's a rule in my house with my niece and nephews, is I don't care if you...
colored on the wall.
Did something. I just need to know that you're telling me the truth.
Yeah. That was something you really had to drill into them, because at first they would just lie because they knew if they lied about it, it would get covered up faster, because that's how it had been happening for them their whole life. But Erica was like, no, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Did you actually do that? And she would keep asking and asking until they actually told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get mad. I just told them that I would rather have you tell me the truth than lie to me.
Right. Alrighty. Well, do you guys have anything else you guys want to share about your guys' experience, or what people can do to change their way of thinking about people who don't want children?
Just be respectful. I think my thought's always that if you don't have a kid, or if you don't see that they have a kid, or you don't know, like, what if they're actively trying to have a kid and they're infertile? Imagine how terrible you would feel if you're like, why don't you have kids? And they just start bawling because they can't have kids, but they want kids.
Or they just had a miscarriage. And
oh my God.
You don't know. And you brought up more pain by asking
the mega trauma. Because my Alex, at my work Alex, she's had 3 miscarriages. And, like, that really affected her. And I personally can't understand it because of the whole I don't want kids. I know I can't have kids.
Yeah.
But, like, I can see how much it, like, hurts.
That's a Pisces thing.
I don't understand it, but I've seen it.
That's a Pisces mentality thing.
That's nice.
Just think before you talk.
And mind your business.
Yeah. Mind your business.
It does not affect you.
Right. And I get people having curiosity. I mean, I think you just have to be on a certain level with someone in order to ask those questions of curiosity. Like, there's no point of asking the question, but don't be like a rando. Be like, oh, when are you going to have kids? Like, get to know someone. Like, I definitely would not have asked Erica, getting to know her, why don't you want kids? You know what I mean? I think that was honest. This is our first conversation of why you don't want kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and we've been friends for over a year. So it's taken time to get to those questions, but you have to be real with people and like,
Friends.
yes, real and like understanding and like
Mhm.
wanting it out of a place of education for like myself. It's a place of understanding, not.
Mhm.
We're friends?
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ouch.
That's
Ooh, that hurts.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
I would say it's really nice too. Like that whole thing that you're talking about is very true. My two coworkers that I really like, I've known them now almost 3 years, and I could fully ask them their entire, like, we can talk about anything at work. They will tell me their entire births. They both had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they will tell me their entire birth, everything about that.
I
And,
definitely
like,
feel it has to be on. You have to be on that level with someone. You can't just ask someone that personal question without
mhm.
knowing something. And if someone who has had something traumatic happen to them and why they don't want children, maybe they'll tell you them on their own time. You'll be like, hey, so I
Yeah.
haven't told you, but this is why. You know,
Yeah.
you just have to be on that same level with someone. You can't expect everyone to be open with you.
No, and especially if you're the one asking, if they know where you're coming from. Because, like, my two coworkers, they know I'm not trying to be mean. They know I'm just curious. And they know that I'm not going to have kids, and I don't have anyone near me that's having kids that I could, like, ask the curiosity questions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think these conversations are really good to have, but definitely from an education point of view, because you can't just have these conversations willy-nilly. You have to know
Yeah.
people.
It'd
So-
be weird.
And I'm definitely hoping like this podcast helps people understand that more. And hence why we're doing these little mini session topics. Just to have more understanding and realizing other people's point of views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had nothing else to talk about.
Alrighty. Well, then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. So the next episode that we have coming out, we are doing on miscarriages. So that will be a really hard topic. We do have a couple guests coming on for that one as well, but be prepared. I will definitely have the trigger warnings at the beginning, just like I had the beginning of this video as well. So if you have anything that you want to speak on, our listeners, feel free to send us an email. We're really waiting on that. Our email is sorry for trauma dummy podcast at gmail.com.
It's
really
really long,
long.
but you won't forget it.
Yep.
Every time. You could have just named it Dumpin' Podcast. I'm dumping. I'd email that.
Hashtag dumping.
Oh. But you know where to find us.
On us all the things on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok,
YouTube,
Spotify, all the stuff. But alrighty, that is going to wrap up our podcast. We will see you next time.
Okay, bye.